It doesn't matter what color they are. It doesn't matter where they come from. That every child needs a home. Every child needs a safe place. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never have to miss any of our videos. We love your comments and questions. I always try to answer as many as I can, but sometimes they're too many. So I thought of an idea. I created this episode so I can answer most of the common questions you've asked. Things like, why do your kids wear sunglasses? To, why do you foster and adopt white kids? Well, watch as I answer all your questions. Why do some of your kids wear glasses everywhere? Well, why? So here's the rule. With foster care children, we have to protect their privacy. We have to keep some of who they are to protect them, but also to protect their parents as well. And remember, some of them go to school, and sometimes we don't want their fellow schoolmates or places they go, YMCA, to know them. Not like it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to know them. But sometimes they get teased or bullied for being foster kids. So to protect them, we always are required by the state or agencies to protect their privacy. So that's why they wear glasses. And by the way, they don't wear glasses all the time. Only when we are taking pictures so we can show to the media, or when we're doing vlogs. That's when they wear glasses and masks. But usually they don't. Only if it's an event or we're taking something that we're going to put on the social media. Because we know we want to protect their privacy. So that's why they wear glasses. But once they're adopted, they don't have to wear glasses. For my 17-year-old, also once he's cleared for adoption, he doesn't have to. It's up to him. But for me as a parent, I'm required to protect their privacy. Why do kids go back to their parents? Why don't you adopt them? Why do they have to go back? Here's how I understand foster care. To be a foster care, basically you're saying, while mom and dad cannot take care of their kids, while they are fixing their problem or they're dealing with their issues or they're in jail and they're serving their time, while they are away, I will take care of their babies. That's what literally foster care means. These kids, are protected or are being in the care of the state. So the state is looking for someone to say, hey, while we are trying to work with the parents to deal with whatever they're dealing with, we want someone to be a parent or we want someone to take care of these kids. And so that's why we come in for us as foster parents. Fostering means you are standing in the gap when the biological parents cannot. That means that when they get back to where they need to or they are responsible to take care of their kids, they take back their kids. That's the whole intention. The whole intention is not so they can get adopted, but rather that while mom and dad are dealing with whatever they're dealing with, and they prove that they can keep the kids safe and loving home, then the kids usually go back, which is the good thing. And also too, it's easy to judge the parents. It's easy to say, how dare them? Well, we've all gone through difficult things. We've all done something. Some of us maybe haven't been caught, or some of you are good at hiding. To some, they've been caught doing things, and they have to prove that they can be parents. So just because they've been caught, should I take their children? No. But also if they are willing to really do everything they can to go back and have a safe and loving home, I think they should have their kids back. So that's why some of my kids have gone back home. Why? Because the parents proved to the state that they can be good parents. So that's why they have their kids back. Are you single by choice? Single by choice. I don't know. I thought by 25 I'd be married. Seriously, I thought. Well, then I really wanted to be educated and travel all over the world. And 35, it didn't happen. What at 40, waited, still didn't come. But I thought, well, I can still be a parent when I'm single. So once I found out I can be single and be a parent, I was like, hey, yes. There's no standard that someone should be married to be a dad. No. Anyone who loves kids and loves and wants to be there can be their dad. That's what I figured. If I met someone today that loves my kids, that loves to make a difference among the kids, that loves the most vulnerable, yeah, I think I'll say, sure. But for now, I'm content just being a dad. Being a dad, yes, by choice. I chose to be a dad. Being single, my kids didn't hear that. They did not hear that I'm searching, looking for, yeah. Will you take in more kids in future? Will I? Do I? Absolutely, yes. I would love to take in kids. At the moment, I'm max up to 4. Usually they give you kids by how many bedrooms or how many you can afford in your house. Or not you can afford in your house, but how many can you accommodate in your house? Usually that's how each state, each state is different. Each county is different. For me, I have 4 bedrooms, so that means I can house or I can accommodate 4 kids. If I had a bigger house, absolutely. I think I would love to take in more teenagers. Teenagers don't need as much help they won't need me as much as the little ones. So having teenagers, I think that would be amazing. But if you know anyone, has a house that has more bedrooms and more bathrooms and wants me to live there, we'll exchange. I'll give them mine and I'll take their bigger house and then I'll have more kids. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But also, to be honest, in the foster care, today there's more than 400,000 kids in the foster care that have nowhere to go, that are looking for a home and a place to call forever family. If I could find a way to help more, I would. Why do you foster mostly boys? I take in girls as well, but there's always a condition. So here's why. I have teenagers. I want to make sure that they have time with dad. They have every opportunity to be kids. But at the same time, as a single dad, I also have to be absolutely careful and thoughtful to who I bring in my house or to who I take in. Think about, you got a 14-year-old ranging with hormones and you have another 14 girl in the same house. No. Not good mixture of 2 teenagers. It's easier for me as a dad, as a single man, to have boys. I understand them. They're looking for a dad and I can be one. For girls, yes, I can be as well a dad to girls. But for teenage girls, I think, when you have teenager boys here and the teenager girl, that mixture might not work well. So in order to just fully be there and be a parent and make sure that they're taken care of, and have a few things to worry about, I think it's easier for me to have boys. But I also take boys if they come with sisters and if they are little, if they are younger, it's a little easier for me. For example, like the ones I have today, the 5-year-old is a boy and the 6-year-old is a girl, and I didn't want to separate them, so I had to take them both because they're little. And I wanted to be there for them. What do you do for work? Money. Or is fostering your full-time job? Well, what do I do for work? Yes, I am a hustler. I do lots of work. I speak, and that gives me an opportunity to be able to be an advocate for kids. So I speak on behalf of World Vision. That's where I work as a part-time job. But also when people invite me at churches or when they invite me at events or when they invite me at their companies to share, I get to really share. And that way I get to earn a little money here and there. I also flip houses on the side, so that gives me a little to supplement on what I do, As you all guys know, yes, I sell plush. We have a business called Now I'm Known, We sell t-shirts, we sell stickers, we sell bandanas, and we sell the plushie, the one we sell, and then we give one to foster kids or kids in the hospital. That gives me a little income in order to be fully a dad. So yes, I am working, but most of what I do is either I own the little business or I do part-time, just so I can be a full-time dad. That's how I make money. That's how I make money so my kids can have a place to live, but also that we can have gas for our car. Yes. I love the next question. Do your kids want a mom? Do your kids want a mom? Do their dad want a wife? No, not at all. Not at all. I've had 16 kids. None of them has ever come to me and say, Peter, oh dad, I wish there was a mom. I wish we had a mom. No, as I said, most kids are looking for a safe place. And most cases, most of them haven't had a dad in their lives. And so to come to me, having a dad, I think they really enjoy that. They enjoy to have a dad. And so they've never asked. But also the other part as well, like I have done everything possible to make sure that I can do both roles, that I can be gentle, that I can be emotional. Again, I'm not saying women are emotional, but I think men sometimes we hold back or we don't want to show a soft side, But I think for me, it really helps me to show my soft side so they really get to see, that I can be vulnerable, that I can be tender. As single parents, they're always doing all the jobs. They are the dads in the morning, they are the moms in the afternoon, they are all to these kids. And that's what I try to do as well. Again, I'm also against that, that moms do one job and dads do the other job. I don't think that's true. For me, I believe that we're all humans, but we're all responsible for taking care of our kids in every way possible. Being vulnerable, that we can be there. Being tender, that we can be there. Being mentor, that we can be there. So my kids have never asked. Yeah, some days when it comes to meals, I think sometimes when they visit some places, they're like, oh, she cooked a good meal. Dad, you should Google the recipe. I'm like, sure, I'll text that person where you just had a meal, and then she might teach me how to make it. But most of the time, they do it for fun. But two, it also helps me to know what they love to eat and also what I can learn. So I go to these moms and say, hey, my son is crazy about your meals. So could you teach me or could you give me the recipe on how you made that meal? And usually they love it when I try. But it's not like they're asking for a mom. No, they're just asking. Some people cook better than you. Yes, I agree. I'm not the best cook. But I try my best to truly do the best I can. Why do you foster white children? I'm thinking how to answer this. Let me see. Well, I'll go back. So, as a kid, when I was astray and I didn't have parents and I was on the streets of Kampala, a stranger walked in my life. He didn't ask me where I came from. He didn't ask me what language I spoke. He didn't ask me who my parents were. He didn't ask me why I was on the streets. He just loved me as a kid. He saw a kid that had every potential to be someone. He saw a kid that at his lowest, he was still a special kid. He saw a kid that needed to be loved. He saw a kid that wanted a home. He saw a kid that wanted family. And that's how he took me in. So for me, when I became a foster parent, I came with the same mind, that I will love every child no matter who they are. Think of the foster kids. It's not like they come there for holiday. It's not like they are there to have a good time. Every kid that comes in foster care, there's something tremendous bad that has happened in their lives. They've been neglected. Sometimes they've been sexually abused by their families. Sometimes they've been physically abused. Sometimes they've been neglected that they have not eaten food in days and weeks. So again, I'm not comparing myself to a nurse or a doctor, but think about when a doctor or a nurse, when someone walks in, when they're sick, they don't ask, wait, what color are you? Where do you come from? They treat the patient you know? And I think for me, the same attitude I have towards kids, I go in to be there for the kids who have been put in the places that did not choose to be in, that they are vulnerable, that they need to be cared for, and they need to be loved. That's how I became foster parent. Also, just like that man did not ask where I came from or language I spoke, the same way I want to love every child in the foster care. That when I open my house, I open house for every kid. As I said, they don't come to the foster care because it's a holiday. They come there because there's a great need and they need to be in a safe place. So you tell me, social worker on the other end called, hey, say, Peter, do you have a home? There's a kid at the hospital. They have nowhere to go. Do you prefer? I would say, yes, I do have an extra bedroom. Yes, I can take in a child. But wait a minute. What race are they? Oh, no, that one I can't take. Do you see? Would that be right? Oh, at 3 in.the morning, I get a phone call saying, hey, there's a little girl that has been neglected for days. He's not eaten, and he's looking for a place to stay. I mean, should I say, I have a place. Yes, I have a home. Yes, I have an extra bed. But if they don't look like me, I don't think I can help them. Could that be right? No. As foster parent, I signed to take care of every vulnerable children. It doesn't matter what color they are. It doesn't matter where they come from. That every child needs a home. Every child needs a safe place. And that's why I'm a foster dad to all kids. When they call me, all I have to ask, what do they need? I happen to have received lots of white kids, but they're kids who need us. Yes, I've had black kids. Yes, they're kids who need us. Yes, I've received Native American. Yes. The kids who need us. And my job is to protect every child. Every one of them. Whatever they come from, wherever they are, whatever trauma they have, that I'll be there for every child. So this question, why do I force a white kid? I don't. I take in every child that needs help when I have space. And in my house, they happen to be white kids who needed a place that day, that moment. But also the other part is like, for some of you who don't understand foster care, it's not like they're in a room and you go and say, I need 1, I need 2, I need 3. No. You get a phone call at 3 in.the morning, you get a phone call at 7, you get a phone call at midnight and say, hey, there's a kid at the police station. The parents are in trouble and we're looking for a place for the child to be. Or sometimes they're in a home and they say this child has been abused by their own family and we're looking for a safe place for them to be. And for me, as a foster dad, it's my job to be responsible for every child that needs us. Every child. To be honest, when sexual abuse comes, it doesn't see the color of the child. When physical abuse comes, it doesn't see the color of the child. When neglect comes, it does not see the color of the child. When you're unwanted, it doesn't see the color of the child, no. When you have nowhere to go, it doesn't see the color. When you're vulnerable and little and you cannot fight yourself, it doesn't see the color of the child. So for me, as a foster dad, I'll take in any child that needs a home. Why? Because they're all vulnerable, looking for a place to be, to feel safe for once, to feel they can have a meal, and that meal won't run away or won't run out for the next week. I'll take in that little girl or that little boy that has been sexually abused by someone who should love them. All that. Kids, there's no child that chooses to say, I'll be born in a drug addict home. No. No kid wakes up in the morning and says, you know what, I want to be part of the foster care. No. The ones who love them have failed them. And for me to help, I gotta help everyone. No one, no two. Not one color. They're all looking for someone to love on them. And that's what I would do. Are you going to adopt? Hi. You are 17 and you haven't been shown love. Or you haven't heard from anyone that you call dad or you call mom. Or you had a little siblings, but you've not heard from them because you don't know where they are. I'll do everything possible to make sure he's okay. If opportunity for adoption is there, absolutely. Yeah, as I said, when I open my house for them to come in, either they go home to their own parents or they stay as long as they want, that I'm willing to be a parent. Why? That's what someone did for me. They didn't see the worst in me. They saw the best in me. They didn't see a thief. They didn't see a dirty boy who had no clothes. They saw a kid. And they saw potential in me that I didn't see in myself. And so, to my foster kids, yeah, I want to do the same. I want to see more in them than they see in themselves. I want to see potential that sometimes they have not been shown, that they know they have potential. Sometimes they don't feel they matter, that I want them to feel that they matter. Sometimes they don't feel they've been heard. No one hears them. They move from family to family. They move from one house to the other. And they never have a choice to say, can I know where I'm going? Can I choose? No. But I would do everything I can to help them. And so, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I can never ask for a color. I'll ask for every child that needs me. I'll do anything to help one kid. One. It wasn't their choice to be where they are. No. they didn't choose to be abused day and night, no. Or two, how parents were addicted to drugs, that they don't know how to heal from them. And when I get that phone call, I get to ask, what race are you? No, I don't. I'm sorry. Or some kids, they've been left in the house for days and they haven't seen mom for a while. When they call me, I'll say yes. I know some of you have accused me for helping kids. You can accuse me all you want every day. You can say the worst words. But every child that comes in the foster care, they're not there because they choose to. So I'll take that phone call no matter what time. As I say, if I have a room, if I have a bed, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna take. Thank you for asking great questions. We love hearing from you. But also, we love that you journey with us, the comments you leave, the likes, but also that you get to share our story with your friends and families. So we want you to know that you matter, you're seen, and you're heard. Well, if you haven't already subscribed, well, hit that notification bell so you never have to miss our episode. See you soon.